There is nothing worse than stepping on the gas and feeling your engine stumble, shake, or lose power. If you have scanned your car and found code P0352, you are dealing with an ignition coil B primary or secondary circuit malfunction. In plain English, cylinder number 2 is misfiring because the ignition coil is not firing properly. Most modern cars use a coil-on-plug system, meaning each cylinder has its own dedicated coil sitting right on top of the spark plug. This is way better than the old distributor wires, but it adds complexity. The computer, or PCM, controls each coil individually by grounding and ungrounding a driver circuit to create the spark. Code P0352 means the computer has detected an open or a short in the circuit specifically for coil number 2 outline. The symptoms are pretty obvious. You will feel a misfire, the engine will run rough, and that check engine light will be flashing or solid. Before you start buying parts, let's diagnose this smartly. First, pop the hood and find coil number 2. Is the engine currently misfiring? If it is intermittent, try the wiggle test. While the engine is idling, gently wiggle the wires going into the coil connector. If the engine stumbles or smooths out when you move the wire, you have found a loose connection or a broken wire inside the insulation. If the misfire is constant, stop the engine and unplug the connector. We need to see if the computer is actually trying to fire the coil. If you have a voltmeter that measures hertz or frequency, this is a great trick. Set it to hertz and probe the driver's signal wire while the engine is running. You should see a reading between 5 and 20 hertz. This tells you the computer is doing its job and sending the signal. If you have that signal, then the ignition coil itself is toast. Replace it, and you are good to go. However, if you see 0 hertz or no pulsing signal, then the problem is upstream. It could be a cut wire between the coil and the computer, or worst case, the driver inside the computer itself has failed. Also, check for constant power on the other wire. If you have power but no signal, check the continuity of that signal wire back to the computer connector. If the wire is good, you might be looking at a bad PCM, but honestly, 9 times out of 10 with this code, it is either a bad coil or a dodgy connector. Swap the coil with another cylinder to see if the code moves. That is the easiest way to confirm a bad coil without any tools at all.